Microvast Holdings stock has been popping lately. Some of you told me to take a look at this end of October, and since then a lot has happened. Hey, I'm Andreas, I've been investing for over 10 years, and in today's video let's take a closer look at Microvast Holding. Let's do some proper due diligence for you guys. I have the investor relations page up because I took a look at the third quarter earnings and I took a look at some key financial metrics regarding this micro cap company. All right, this is a very small cap company. They're close to $500 million in market cap, and in pre-market here up 8.5%, so they will be above that $500 million in market cap. It's just a tiny company, all right? This is a very small company, but why have they popped so much lately? Well, they had their first quarter of proper profitability. We can take a look here in the third quarter earnings report. I've already read through it here. We start with pipeline regarding future business that's coming in. They just had this quarter of revenue growth. They just had this quarter of profitability. And it's very important to communicate to the market, communicate to investors that this is sustainable and we will be able to continue this. So we're seeing highlights here: Propel, XCMG, LGMG, commercial trucks, construction, mining and dumping. They're using their lithium-ion batteries in commercial businesses. They're using them in industry. They have a clear use case here. This is a niche product. I like all of those things. So fantastic find from the community indeed in this case. Expected to see more revenue from this business pipeline. This is here to communicate that yes, indeed, you can trust us that we will be able to continue to grow revenue at the pace that we're communicating, and we will continue to be profitable. Did they secure the market? Well, take a look at stock price. Yes, indeed. The market loves security, and they're clearly buying this presentation. We're seeing some financial highlights here. As I mentioned, Q3 here, net profit. Gross profit, take a look at this, 33%. So it's not a software company. We're not seeing those 80% in gross profit margin. But don't get me wrong, these are great numbers. I like those. We have to make physical products. We have to make these battery components for industry, electric vehicles, everything like that. There's a market for this. And these types of numbers are more of a moat creating numbers, because you're not gonna see a whole bunch of venture capital just pouring into this in the long term like we've seen in some cases. This is more niched. Yes, indeed, there has been venture capital pouring into the battery manufacturing business. In Sweden, for example, we had Northvolt just went belly up, but in this case it's not what's gonna lure all this venture capital in. So long term, I think that this can clearly be a sustainable business if this lithium-ion battery indeed is the future. I don't know enough about the core product to be able to say that for certain. And if you know battery creation, if you realize that, all right, this type of battery has an advantage compared to other types of battery, well, then this is a stock you can do more due diligence in, and perhaps one where you can have an edge over the market. We see revenue by region used to be a lot in China, and now it's more here in EMEA, so Europe and Middle East, growing rapidly. Cash flow, I took a look at cash flow in Yahoo Finance. I think it was easier to understand because it was larger numbers for my eyes. And in this case, we're seeing that they're doing some financing. So I took a look at debt as well. I will do that a bit later, but there's nothing to worry about there. Outlook, anticipated revenue growth. These are solid numbers. This is a solid gross margin. All in all, they're poised for future gains. And remember, not even $500 million in market cap. Well, with current pre-market stats, they will be over. All right, what about the balance sheet here on a quarterly basis? Remember, financing, they were doing some financing, issuing more debt. That's why I take a look at this for you guys. We're seeing here, very interesting, total assets, 1 billion in total assets. So price to book ratio, indeed, looking very nice. Current assets, we could wish for a bit more cash and cash equivalent. If we zoom out to annual, we see that this was quite a lot higher in the past, but it's been going down. Now they have the profitability. Will it be enough to service the debt? Yes, I think so, because debt is quite small. We can zoom down here and see total debt 263 million. So that means that enterprise value is about total debt plus the market cap here is 750 million, something like this. It's quite a sustainable ratio. Also taking into account here that we're not seeing massive dilution in terms of shares. This is only on a quarterly basis. But if we take a look at years ago, 2 years ago, this was slightly below 300k here. If this is, yeah, that's a dot. And then it increased slightly to slightly above 300k, and now it has increased slightly as well. So they're issuing some new shares. It could be compensation, it could be new issuance to bring in capital. I haven't taken a closer look at that, but this is absolutely nothing to worry about in terms of dilution. Also of interest, we see goodwill being quite small. So in terms of the current amount of assets, it's tangible things, real physical things. It's not excess value created from M&A activity where they bought something at a higher than asset, total value of asset cost, and then they have this goodwill on the balance sheet that they need to write off over time to get some tax breaks. No, real physical assets. All in all, I think that this is a very solid company and a great find from the community. So congratulations to you guys who went in on this. I was very slow to do the analysis. I had a lot of stocks to look at. But I think that this company has more to give, given how they had this $100 million in revenue for the quarter. They had this gross margin of about 33%. And as growth continues, well, we know that profits will scale. That's operating profits in this case. And it's a very small company. Small companies, we're going to see a lot of volatility just like this. For example, from here to here, it's about 8x almost. So almost a 10 bagger already for some people in a very short time. And this stock has more to give. That's the power of small cap growth stocks. Compare these to big, old, boring, dividend paying stocks that barely move anything. Well, then this is clearly the high risk, high reward type of investment that I love to take a look at. So once again, a big thank you to the community here for recommending to take a look at this stock. This is definitely one that I will follow along on, and perhaps we can get some knowledge down in the comment field regarding lithium ion batteries. Is it superior to other types of batteries on the market? Is it cheaper? Is it riskier? Is it the future? Will it be outcompeted by another type of battery? These are questions that needs to be answered before I would be comfortable to make an investment in a high-flying stock like this. Alright, that's been it for this video. And as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.